Okay, so the biggest problem with dating advice on YouTube is typically not necessarily the advice itself, but who it's coming from. The dating advice that people typically take in is from usually YouTubers that you could probably call an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. And a lot of the people who are watching that kind of content, you could probably typically call them, like a 4 or 5 out of 10, maybe even lower. And, I do think rating systems are kind of like cringe because it oversimplifies, human beings. But it's convenient for YouTube videos and it's convenient for the points we're trying to get across. But I find that if, somebody that's a 4 out of 10 is watching a YouTube video on dating advice from somebody that's a 9 out of 10, it might be a little hard to relate because you think, when a 9 out of 10 tells you, oh, dating is very, it's a struggle and here's how to do well at it. The thing is we already know the 9 out of 10 is probably doing a lot better than a 4 out of 10. So it's hard to take that advice seriously because you might think, oh, their attraction is the reason they're doing well at dating, not these methods they're teaching. What you really should have, for a good experience is advice from a 5 out of 10 that's doing well with girls, and that's kind of what the theme of this video is trying to be. And first of all, this video is meant to be as authentic as possible. So I'm not going to tell you that I'm pulling 9 out of 10s. I'm not going to tell you I'm amazing at dating. That's not true, first of all. And I'm sure you guys can easily believe that. But what I can tell you that you would agree with is I'm probably about a 5 out of 10. I'm sure some people are watching this are like, no, he's way lower than a 5 out of 10. Maybe some are like, oh, no, he's higher. But whatever you want to call me, it really doesn't matter. The point stands. So I'm sure we can all agree I'm not an 8 out of 10, anything like that. And that's totally fine. That's just not where I'm at. And, it's okay. So, however, that doesn't mean you're doomed in today's dating world. Just because if you're like a 4 out of 10 or something, that does not mean you're not going to have a girlfriend. It does not mean you're not going to be able to get a girlfriend. And if you believe that, you just have a defeatist mindset, and that's going to hold you back. So the thing is, I'm wearing a mask right now, but you can look at my last video and you know what I look like, So the thing about it is this, it's I want to give some advice on how to do well at dating if you're not necessarily attractive, I wouldn't call myself necessarily ugly, but even if I was, the advice stands. The advice still holds true that I'm about to give. And I think it might be more relatable if it's coming from someone, like me, because maybe I'm more at your level already. So we already have a common understanding, assuming you would not consider yourself an 9 out of 10 Chad. If you are, then I doubt you're watching this video. So the thing is, I went from having trouble getting girls at all, in any way, shape, or form, 0 girls at any point, to being moderately successful girls. Now, let me state again, I'm not pulling 9s. I'm not getting girls left, right, and center. That's not true at all. But the amount of girls I have interested in me and the amount of dating opportunities that now are coming up for me are way more than it was for me than 2 years ago. And I want to share with you some of the things I did that caused that change. Now, like I said, I'm not swimming in girls. That's not what's happening here. But getting girls is no longer a concern of mine. It's no longer an anxious thing. I know I can do it if I apply the right things. So here's some advice for somebody that maybe isn't the most attractive on how to actually get into the dating world and be relatively successful. And that's, with this advice, typically people will end up with somebody about as attractive as them. So, if you're an 8 out of 10, you're probably going to pull a girl that's around 8 out of 10. If you're 5 out of 10, you get it, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean you won't be able to date somebody that's more attractive than you. This can happen, and I've seen it happen. If you're a 5 out of 10, it is possible you can get higher levels than what you are. And it's kind of all on you. It's not as easy as if you were an 8 out of 10, but your looks limit you, but they don't stop you, you can they only limit you so much. There's other variables involved that can elevate your attractiveness. Looks are not everything usually. And that's the good news here. So let's kind of dive into the advice. So the first advice I would give to somebody who is not necessarily very attractive right now is to avoid dating apps at all costs. And this is the most serious step in my opinion. And I know it sounds a little counterintuitive because you would think, oh, no, I need to be on dating apps because any little chance I can have, I must seize. But this is kind of the wrong mindset, and it's kind of lowering your own value. avoid dating apps. First of all, dating apps are only really for people that are like super attractive. Let's be honest, right? There's way more guys on dating apps than girls. And you know how guys are. Guys are the ones that chase girls. So do you really think when girls are overwhelmed with all these men, they're going to go for the guy where they can only see their face? They don't know anything about their personality, the way they conduct themselves in real life. Do you really think they're going to go for the guy that's like maybe a 5 when there's a 9? No, they're not. And even like, you know, lower quality girls are going for the 9s. And since there are so many guys, it's going to work out for them. If you're a 5 out of 10, stay off dating apps. Your face is not attractive enough. And this holds true for me. You know, my face is not attractive enough for me to have any real kind of success on dating apps. Like, sure, it's happened, you know, like I have managed to like match with girls that are actually somewhat like very attractive, but it typically doesn't go anywhere, and it's usually more of an attention thing. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's special cases where, you know, some 5 out of 10 is going to like pull a 10 out of 10. He's like, bro, I pulled a 10 out of 10, man. Like, so he's wrong. He's lying. But like, these cases are so rare that they're almost irrelevant. And you could say, well, why not do it just in case? I would make the argument to you that it's going to destroy your mental health. The fact when you go on these dating apps and you're getting no matches, or you're just getting girls that are using you for attention for months on end, it's going to destroy your mental health. Yes, maybe statistically after like 5 years of swiping constantly, you'll pull someone that's relatively attractive. Your mental health will be destroyed by then. It just will be. And when your mental health goes down, your confidence goes down, your game goes down, your whole vibe just lowers itself. And any chance of obtaining an actual quality girl in real life is going to lower too. The more you focus on dating apps, the less you're focusing on just getting girls in real life, where you have a way better chance. Because in real life, we introduce so many more variables. Because on dating apps, all you really have is your face. If you're not very attractive, that's not good. In real life, we have the way you conduct yourself, the way you talk, the way you smell, the way your style is, your general just vibe. Is she comfortable around you? Do you feel confident? Does she, you know, feel that you're confident? Does she, all of these factors, the list goes on and on and on. All you need is confidence, really, to conduct these things in real life over dating. Trust me. Stay off dating apps if you're not very attractive and just focus on real life. You will pull a higher quality girl if you focus on real life. This is facts. Any girl I've had actual success with has all been from real life, and none of it has been from dating apps. And the girls I've pulled in real life have been more attractive than the ones on the dating apps. This will hold true for most people that are not insanely attractive. I'm telling you that right now. And dating apps are just going to destroy your mental health. That is facts. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to visualize your success. Now, this might seem kind of like a waste of time, but honestly, this will help you in many more ways than you think. The best way to do it is you kind of have to see yourself as a 10 out of 10. You have to really believe in yourself. And if you're truly becoming a very confident person and you have the right habits, then you might as well be a 10 out of 10. You need that 10 out of 10 confidence. You need to say, I will get a girlfriend. She will be good looking, you know, or she will be perfect for me. It doesn't always have to be all about looks. You don't have to be that superficial. Honestly, this advice is very simple, but just by saying these things to yourself, these affirmations of, you know, I'm going to have a girlfriend, I'm going to be successful in life, I'm a very attractive person, you're convincing yourself this is true. And ironically, it kind of becomes true just because your general aura becomes a very confident person who expects success. And girls pick up on this. All humans pick up on this. Just start vision. It can't hurt you, that's for sure. And there's nothing wrong with having high self-esteem, no matter what, you know, number you are on the attractive scale. And the higher your self-esteem, the higher your attractiveness anyways. So just by being more confident in yourself, your attractiveness on attractiveness scale is just naturally going to go up. And it's good for your mental health too. So just visualize your success. And this is a really quick tip, and it's really easy. Just visualize your success before you go to bed. Write about it. Affirm to yourself. You know, don't be delusional, but believe in yourself. Just believe you can obtain these great things, these things above you, these challenges, and the universe will follow suit. Trust me, it happens. This is a great step to getting what you want. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is also relatively simple. you're going to want to work on yourself, right? You're going to want to work on your physical appearance, because if you're naturally not the most attractive person, you can still look max. You can still do the best with what you got, deal the cards you're dealt. So groom, get a better haircut. Don't have a shitty haircut like me. Go to the gym. Don't be weak like me. Take care of your skin. Just do all the common sense things. Eat right. Use moisturizer. All of these things are just going to make you look better. Smell good. All these things will make you more attractive and increase you on the attractiveness scale. These are just small little quick fixes you can do if you're not very attractive. And some of them will take longer than others, right? You go to the gym, that's gonna be a lifelong project, really. But it's worth it, and all of it is, once again, very good for mental health. So even if you feel, oh, this is not going to make me attractive enough to pull girls, it's so good for your mental health. It's still worth it. It really is, and it will make you more attractive. Trust me. It's attractive to see a guy that is taking care of himself. And well, there's not much more to say on this topic because it's kind of just common sense. Just take care of yourself. Go to the gym, moisturize, get good sleep. Just do all the basics, groom, just look good. And it will really help you out. And it's pretty simple advice. And it's pretty straightforward too. So here's another piece of advice. And this one is probably the most, the one where you're going to need the most courage, but it's also where you're going to see the most success immediately. And this is kind of just cold approaching and accessing your resources and working on your personality / presenting your personality. If you're not super attractive, one of the biggest things you have to have going for you is a good personality. You need to be funny, charismatic, confident. You really need to work on these things if you aren't these things, right? You need to become confident, charismatic, just practice your social skills. And you can do this through so many ways. Meditate to work on anxiety and depression, talk with people, hang out with your friends to work on social skills, expose yourself to situations and social situations, right? Where you can just have the right mindset, things like this. And if you have a very good 10 out of 10 personality, this is going to make you more attractive. It's going to help you out quite a lot. You're going to also, let's say now you have this great personality and it's a good personality. And even if you don't have a good personality, still put yourself in social situations, embarrass yourself, because that's how you learn. Trust me, all I do is embarrass myself, and I'm learning because of it. And it happens a little less every day. Still a lot, but less. So put yourself in, cold approach cute women that you see and really display your personality. It's more effective than you think. And at worst case scenario, it's a learning experience. You have nothing to lose by doing it. Like, another thing you can do is access your resources. So surely you work somewhere, right? Surely you go to school, maybe, or maybe you're in a club, or you're at some kind of social event. I'm sure there's plenty of girls there. What's good about like workplaces or clubs is it allows you to have an extended amount of time to establish rapport with a girl, right? Because if you're just cold approaching her, you only have so much time to display your personality before she's already decided if she's going to say yes to you, giving her number, right? So cold approach is easier, but it's not as effective, but it's still probably better than online dating. It is better than online dating. But the most effective thing you can do is, work with a girl, or be in a club with one, or in school. That way you can have a very long time to build rapport with her, make her actually really like you, and then make your move. And that's where you'll see some serious success. Now, if you're not in any kind of like social things or friend groups or anything like that, you're going to have to get into them. Sign up for clubs, go to work, or go to school. Don't stay in your house. Just don't stay in your house. Go outside and meet people. And there's so many ways to meet people. I don't need to tell you how to meet people. It's pretty simple. Just find ways. There are plenty of ways. And I'm sure you're already in a lot of social situations where there are girls and you've already kind of like looked at them and said, I'm not even going to try. She's cute and I feel like her and I could work out. I'm not going to try. I'm not attractive enough, or it's not worth it. She probably has a boyfriend. This is defeatist mindset. Just go for it. What do you have to lose? Like, the worst case scenario, she tells you I have a boyfriend. Oh, okay. Like, it's okay. She has a boyfriend. Cool. Don't make it awkward. Just tell a joke after that and go, oh, damn, that sucks. You don't have to make it awkward, right? And that's it. Walk away from the situation. You're fine. Now I can understand it's maybe a little weird to get like rejected by a girl, then continue to have to work with her. So that's up to you how much you want to engage in that. It might be easier if you're about to leave your job, or if your school's out, like, you're about to graduate, or the school year's about to end, or the club's about to end. Might be easier then. It's really up to your own discretion. Even if you do ask and you continue to see her afterwards, just don't make it awkward. Just be chill about it. It's not a big deal. And this is where you'll see the most success for sure. So the final advice I could give you is the most counterintuitive of all the advice I've given you so far. And that is, just avoid dating altogether. Just be on your own grind. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, okay, so to get girls as someone that's not super attractive, you're just telling me to give up. Not necessarily. I think that we tend to overemphasize just how important girls are to us in our lives. If you're in your 20s, it's probably more important you focus on setting up a career. It's more important that you focus on your family, your friends, and just getting your life on track before you get a girl. Don't go for a girl just because you're lonely or horny. It's kind of pathetic. And, we've all been there. But that kind of desperation can be obvious. Sometimes your best move is just not to play the game. Don't engage in it if you think it's hurting your mental health. Just work on your career, work on yourself. Just go hang with your friends, be a funny, sociable person, be in clubs, and just be in the clubs for the sake of being in the clubs. Go hang with your friends to hang with your friends and have fun and be a leader there. Be close with your family. Go work on your career because you're passionate and want to work towards something. Don't think about girls. And guess what? This is going to attract girls. Girls are going to look at this guy and go, wow, he's really focused on his friends. He has an active social life. Wow, he's pursuing a career. He doesn't seem desperate at all. He doesn't seem horny and like a loser. And then you actually might have girls chasing you. Now, I know this sounds far-fetched, but it has happened. It's happened with me, where I just stopped trying to date and I just started focusing on my own grind, where I'm just working on getting my career set up. I'm working on just hanging out with my friends and having fun and just doing small various things. And then you just end up talking to girls naturally through that, and they see that you're on your grind and they're attracted to it. They're attracted to that goal orientated mindset. They see you're not some douchey player, some weird desperate incel. You're a person who's very confident, has high self-esteem, but isn't necessarily drooling chasing girls. You're working on yourself. You're taking care of yourself and your goals first. And girls like to see that. That kind of shit's very attractive to girls. And that would be like, that's the best. That's some really good advice too. I'm not saying, I don't want to discredit all the other advice I just gave. There's nothing wrong with pursuing girls, but I'm saying, like, if you really think you're at a point in your life right now where the only reason you want to date is because you're lonely or horny, I'm going to tell you right now, you shouldn't be trying to date. Clearly you're not ready, because that's not really the right reasons to get into dating. I mean, sure, I guess if you just want to be a player or whatever, then yeah, fine. That's the right reason. But if you kind of want something a little more than that, don't get into it just because you're horny or lonely. If those are the only reasons you want to date, then don't even bother. Just focus on yourself and try to fix in you whatever is causing you to be horny and lonely, because that's clearly a problem with you. Something inside of you is insecure or troubled. You have to work on yourself then. And ironically, you're going to attract some of the right girls by just focusing on yourself. And that's the most important thing. At the end of the day, the person who matters most is you. And don't worry if you're not pulling girls, and you just gotta, like, believe in yourself. Like, even if it's not towards getting girls, just believe in yourself in general. And you'll find that people gravitate towards that kind of confidence, towards that kind of drive. Otherwise, I hope this advice works. And even if it doesn't, thank you for giving this video a listen. I think it really can work for people. I personally think it's worked for me. I've tried all these various tactics one way or another at different points. You can't technically do all of them at the same time because some of them contradict each other. But I find that if you want to know which one I personally think has been most successful for me, is probably the one I just told you, where just don't try to date. That, weirdly enough, that's when I've had the most success, where girls are actually trying to date me now. Not like I said, I'm not swimming in girls, but like more than, when I was a lot younger, there was like absolutely no girls in my life, but I gave off sad vibes. like desperate vibes, you know. Now that I'm just focusing on myself, all of a sudden I have like girls hitting me up in DMs, like that I'm talking to, like not lots, but enough that it's like, oh wow, this is crazy, you know. And I'm meeting girls. I'm not dating them because like I am holding very true to working on myself right now, and I don't think I'm in a position where I should be dating very seriously right now. But if you know want to try this tactic out and you want to see, you might start getting some girls talking to you. You might go, hey, maybe I do want to try this dating thing out. So, you know, if anyone is watching this, comment below what you think. Maybe you think all this advice is bullshit. Tell me that, and we can have a cool discussion about it. Anyways, thank you for watching.